Hey, welcome to this playlist of On Tyranny. It is 20 lessons from the 20th century. This is a book by Timothy Snyder, which is all about what you can do to fight fascism and tyranny. Obviously, hopefully you're watching this playlist because maybe you feel like you need some tangible action steps. We're getting closer to inauguration. We're getting closer to the TikTok ban. And, I guess like my part of what I can do to help here is to share a little bit of what I learned from this book. Hopefully you can learn as well. If you're just tuning into the playlist, I do have, multiple ways that you can get this book. I would recommend that you try to find it from a local bookseller, so a small independent bookseller. Please don't buy the book from Amazon. It's kind of counterintuitive what we're trying to do. Excuse me. But the third chapter, the third On Tyranny lesson is really important. It is beware the one-party state. And that probably resonates with a lot of us right now. So here's what Snyder has to say. The parties that remade states and suppressed rivals were not omnipotent from the start. They exploited a historic moment to make political life impossible for their opponents. So support multi-party systems and defend the rules of democratic elections. Number 3, it's where we are now. You know when you go to a mall or an apartment complex and you look at the map and it says you are here? You are here. You are on step 3. We have a president that is a Republican, we have a House and a Senate that are Republican, and we have a Supreme Court that has a majority that have been, sort of nominated and put into office by Republicans. So we are in the one-party state. There are tangible action steps that you can do to change that. So here's a few notes that I took when I was looking at chapter 3. So the first one is vote in every election. I know, not fun. It's hard to get this information, but really it takes like 10 minutes, 15 minutes for you to be able to research your candidates in every single election. The smallest election has the biggest impact. There is so much information available to you to support and participate in your local elections that, a lot of people just are not aware of that. The next one is defend your voting rights. So obviously supporting access to be able to vote is just as important as being able to vote. Whether that's participating in mail-in elections or, one thing I found, like Clark County, Nevada, very good example. The local registrar is very responsive to questions. And a lot of people never make that step. So for example, in the last election, I had questions about my ballot and questions with problems with the mail-in ballot. I just picked up the phone and called, and there was someone there who answered my questions and actually helped me with what I needed to do. A lot of people just stop at that step. The next one is I have here support a diverse media landscape. So obviously not just TikTok, obviously not just national news, but maybe your local news. Are you finding sources of information from small independent journalists as an example? There's actually a lot of great journalists trying to find a home right now, so help them find a home. And then the last part here obviously is get involved in political primaries, party primaries. So obviously if you're probably watching my channel, a lot of politics is decided in weird little convention rooms or a little side room of some office that a local party uses to dictate local parties' policies and elections. Most people don't participate in these things. Most people don't show up to the meetings. And this is unfortunately why we find ourselves where we are on the left, is that a lot of people on the other side do participate in those things. So beware the one-party state is lesson 3. We can do better here. We have to admit we have not been really participating, so let's try to change that. The next video is going to be focusing on chapter 4, which is take responsibility for the face of the world, and that's a big one.